today we represent and work with over 40 different brands, furniture, lighting, accessories, Europe, North America to Australia, all catered for the UAE and the GCC region.
Tell us a little bit about your journey.
I tend to say yes to everything. I was project managing anywhere between 3 to 4 projects at any given time. I also built one of the most expensive penthouses in Burj Khalifa. From there, I started regaining the passion of the design world.
When we look for furniture, so buy furniture, it's not only a nice piece, it's a feeling.
We can buy disposable furniture at any time from anywhere. Iconic design that stands the test of time. That's what you need to look for.
What is your vision for design industry in the next 10 years?
Everything is changing today, especially with AI. A change for me is always something that I question before accepting. So we'll have to wait and see.
Valeria, welcome back. How are you?
To our next
episode.
I'm not going to ask you, Shad, how was your week, because you every time I ask you how your week was, you tell me that it was
I think we can see on camera that I'm
tiring.
Look, I'm not going to lie, it was draining. It was draining, but it's a lot of new interesting projects coming in.
Which is exciting.
Which is super exciting.
Yeah.
And but you know what I'm more excited about? I'm more excited about this super guest that we have here today. And I think for you, he's very familiar.
Yeah, too familiar.
Maybe too familiar. Mo Jawaheri, the founder of the amazing super studio that we all love, designers and architects.
Absolutely.
We call him Big Pops.
Well, thank you for having me.
Welcome,
thank you for coming.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
Mo, you've created this amazing business where you are bringing all of this high-end furniture from all around the world. And not only doing that, I would also say that you created your own community within us.
Yeah.
Where, you know, we have a platform to meet each other, get to know each other. You're helping us and educating us in the right furniture. Super Studio is not only the regular furniture brand, I would say, you know, but also a platform for us to learn.
Yeah.
So, well, we're super thankful for having you here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here.
How do you know him?
Through Super Studio.
Through Super Studio?
That's the funny story, but that's another, it's probably another podcast. So, Mohsen, tell us a little bit about your journey, which you started Super Studio almost 2 decades, right? Or you've been in this business for almost 2 decades. Tell us a little bit about your journey. What led you to design industry? How did it all start?
Well, it's a funny story. My design journey started many, many years ago, as you mentioned. I started my journey working for a exhibition design and build company. And one day we got a call and said, can you design our offices? And I tend to say yes to everything, no matter what the challenge is. So I said yes. And that's where it all started. We did design and build exhibitions and offices. And from there, slowly, I joined several big design firms. And eventually in 2000 and, God, I'm bad with dates. In 2000, I think it was in 4, I opened up my own design and build company.
What was the name of that company that you just started initially with?
Design Lab.
Design Lab. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. I was part of that company from the beginning. I was the co-founder. We were 3 partners. And during, in 2010, me and another partner left the company. And that's where I decided to go by myself and start my own journey. My first project after that was project managing the pavilion at downtown Dubai.
Oh yeah, it used to be the first place, the first cafe that I've been to when I came to Dubai. Many years ago, I came for a business trip, and it was the first F&B outlet that I checked.
Oh, wow.
It was,
It was
one
a
of
really
the first really cool co-working spaces,
Yeah.
cafes, designed by Studio M. Aboud. It was mandated by Mohammed Al-Abbar to the Bin Shabib brothers to do something with the old sales office of Imar in downtown. It was just
It
an
was-
idle building. We took over it, and in 3 months we created this incredible space. And we knew eventually there was going to be a development on it. That's what we were told from day one. But the guys created a brilliant space, and I project managed it and finished it. And from there, the project started to coming in. I was project managing anywhere between 3 to 4 projects at any given time, mostly in the IFC. I also built one of the most expensive penthouses in Burj Khalifa. From there, I started regaining the passion of the design world, furniture mostly, and the idea of Super Studio came.
Yeah.
And that's where
How did that come up? You know, when did you feel?
I always
that,
had a passion to work with these beautiful brands that produce beautiful pieces of furniture. I was never into IKEA, put it that way. I loved iconic pieces of furniture. And I had the opportunity to start something. And whilst working in the design and build, traveling to Milan, I mean, I've been going to Milan for over 25 years. And seeing all the brands, it was an incredible journey to learn and understand and appreciate these brands. And I said, you know what? There is nothing like Super Studio here. We had, I think, Ati Furniture. We had Rush Babois. These were the main 2 real furniture dealers around. And then B&B Italia started with Beituti. But that was it. Nobody catered to a multi-branded furniture dealership where it represented all of these iconic pieces of...
Where you can find everything under the one
One roof, yeah.
So I had a lot of friends in the industry, both here and in Europe. I started with 4 brands, and we grew gradually. Today we represent and work with over 40 different brands: furniture, lighting, and accessories. Europe, North America to Australia. All catered for the UAE and the GCC region.
How do you curate your brands? How do you... Is that a special gift? How do you pick those brands that you want to work with? Do you differentiate them based on how you can sell them, or do you
is
select?
it your taste?
Or is it your taste?
That's a good question. When I started with 4 brands, I had no idea that one day we'd be representing so many. But as we grew as a business, we needed to bring on new brands. We initially started with Tacchini. We were the first dealers in the region with Tacchini.
I love this brand.
And then we had Techno, we had Magis, and we had Moi. They worked great together, harmonious. They didn't compete with each other. And that was the key, to bring brands that are harmonious to each other. They complement each other and work well with each other.
Right.
And that's always a question that when we sign a new brand, they look at who we represent and who we work with. They don't want to work with someone that is direct competition. A lot of the brands in recent times has been me appreciating what they do, what they build, what they design, the history, the culture behind them. And it's also understanding that our market is capable to accepting what they sell. Every region has a different culture, have a different taste.
Yeah, for sure.
Not all brands do well in all regions. We have some brands that has been a challenge from day one to sell, and it continues to be challenging for us.
Yeah.
Most of the time, we end that relationship with, or that collaboration with the brand, and move on and find other brands. I mean, recently we signed up Designed by Them, an Australian brand that has an excellent range of furniture, affordable, fast lead times. And we didn't know that the moment we signed up, we had inquiries lining up for us.
Wow.
Wow.
So that was incredible.
Yeah.
Another one we signed up was Mattiasi, an Italian brand, does some beautiful
Yeah, it's a
pieces
really,
of
really,
furniture.
really cool brand.
And already we have orders in production. We have a lot of inquiries. So, see, some brands have a great understanding and appreciation in the market, and they quickly pick up. But a lot of brands need a lot of marketing, educating designers, talking to them about it, doing workshops with them to appreciate it.
So I don't know if you know this, but this is how me and Mo actually met. Do you remember how we did?
Yes.
So me coming from Italy from the beginning.
Yeah.
No-
Like how many years back? What is it? 2000?
Almost 6 years back.
Yeah.
Almost 6 years back. Five and a half maybe.
Yeah.
What happened was me coming from a background of actually knowing a lot of these brands was I came to Dubai and I was feeling almost like I was struggling to find, you know, someone that could sell or where I could find all of these, you know, brands, you know, and I didn't know about Super Studio then, and maybe I didn't do a proper research of it, but and I was in contact. And I knew a couple of these companies here in Italy. I had my own personal connection with them, and some in Sweden and some in other
but
places.
not representative in the Middle East.
Correct. So, and then I actually was in contact with Moi Carpet. And I told them about a rug that I wanted for a client. And they said, so you have to talk to our representative. And then they gave me Mo's email address. And that's how we first met.
Correct. I remember.
So obviously for me, I met someone that was, you know, a guru and was so interested in all of these iconic pieces. Leads to another question that I have for you. How is it to actually work with iconic pieces? Because what I can feel in the region and myself as a design is that I like to educate people when it comes to art, for example. For you, it must be a blank paper to be able to educate people in iconic furnitures. And, you know, there is so much value in furnitures as well that not a lot of clients would think of.
Yeah.
You know, art, they would think, okay, there is a resale value or there is a value in, but there is also a very big value in furnitures and in iconic pieces. How is it to be sort of the guru or the headmaster of iconic pieces in the region?
I mean, educating obviously clients, whether it's designers, clients, is part of the process. Whilst we have many iconic pieces in our collection, you have to understand we also have the general range of furniture and lighting that caters
More commercial,
to
we'll
general
say, right?
audience, you know. Yes, I mean, we had a few years ago the aqua table designed by Zaha Hadid.
Yeah.
And it was the prototype one
Wow.
of that table. So this
I
was the
remember that
first table that has actually been touched, inspected by Zaha Hadid before she passed away.
Wow.
So it has some history behind it, and there's a story behind it. So that prototype one was kept in storage for so many years by Establish & Sons. And when they offered it to us, we said, yes, ship it over. Shipped it over, not knowing if we will ever sell it. Piece of furniture. I mean, looking at it, it's a beauty. It's a work of art. But it's not your everyday client that walks in and says, oh.
But there is clients in Dubai
Yes.
that would come in and
would
say,
appreciate.
oh, I want that.
Oh, the
You know?
story was that I was, funny enough, downstairs in the showroom, and I see this gentleman coming in, completely took me by surprise. you can't judge a book by the cover. That was the exact scenario there. And he's like, "Hi, I'm here for that table."
Oh,
Wow.
I looked at him. I looked at the table. I, said, "Okay, this is going to be interesting." "Yes, how can I help you?" It's like, "I contacted the UK office and they told me you have this table here, and I would like to purchase it from my boss."
wow.
So his boss, being one of the biggest, I think, prominent local families in the UAE, is I think, a great fan and a collector of beautiful pieces of furniture. He knows everything about most iconic pieces of furniture because he'd done his homework, and he came the day after, looked at it, said, "Yes, I will take that." And he bought some really incredible piece of other iconic furniture that I had in my private collection that was not for sale, all limited editions. He purchased all of them from us, including that table.
Ah, that's a very interesting story.
It must be fun. Sometimes you appreciate it. Must
Oh,
be
yeah.
in your business and also in our business when you face a client that knows
Yeah.
And
what they want
and
appreciate
appreciates.
it.
And money is not a
Problem.
issue,
Yeah.
you
And,
know?
So sometimes we all need those clients,
Yeah, we
where
love
they're
those
like,
clients.
what?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, when I get a client that says, "Oh, I know this piece," and he or she tells me about the piece of, and I'm just there with a big smile,
Yeah.
because I know when I say the price, they won't have a problem with
Yeah.
it. But I have clients coming in now. We have another Zaha Hadid aqua table on display. This is number 2 of 12 limited edition, the only one that's been autographed by Bono, and it's one of the most expensive ones on sale currently anywhere in the world. And we've had a lot of people say, "Oh, we love this table. How much is it?" The moment we tell them the price, things change dramatically.
Well, isn't it also like that when it comes to limited edition, that they're supposed to be limited for the right client?
Yes.
So obviously you will have a lot of people being interested in it, but it's not for everyone.
It doesn't cater to the masses.
Yeah.
It's a collective pieces.
It's a work of art.
Yeah.
A lot of our brands, not mostly, but a lot of them cater to a very niche market. And that niche market is people who actually appreciate the pieces of furniture or lighting that we sell.
Yeah.
It's not...
I'm very excited for Super Studio and their new collab that you guys are doing with your lighting design. You have a new company that you guys just brought in, no?
Yeah.
Not gonna mention any names.
Yes, when the opportunity comes, when you find a brand that has a great product, great quality, great story behind it, value for money. We signed exclusivity in a different way with them. For example, we can't sell to you.
Oh.
Because you have an existing relationship.
Yeah.
So we can't sell to you.
Okay.
We only signed exclusivity we offered them 100 new clients.
Amazing.
And those 100 clients are exclusive to Super Studio. That's our relationship with them.
Fantastic.
And we've already started getting orders, inquiries. So, I think it's a great opportunity, but we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see.
How do you building client relationships, as you said, is very important in our industry.
Yes.
How do you cultivate these relationships with your clients?
Building client relationship is mostly communication and transparency. Ensuring that they're heard and trying to gain their trust.
I'll tell you my personal experience with Super Studio, because as a designer, okay, I'll tell you what exactly that it is that differentiates Super Studio and very few companies on the market. is efficiency. This is, I feel as a client, as a designer, right? I feel that this is what really puts Super Studio in the top 10 brands, because every time when there is an issue, we know that we have someone, backing you up. You know that there is a company backing you up. You know that someone will be on your side, making sure that your product deliver on time. And then that's something that we can present to the client. And then 100%. If we say that this is going to be delivered within, let's say, 2 weeks time, this is exactly what happens, right? And this efficiency and this comes with a lot of work, as we know, yeah, and it comes with experience and relationship that you, as a company, you've built over a period of time. So, tell us a little bit more about this relationship that you.
It's well, one thing I gotta tell you guys, we just hit 10,000 clients this week.
Congrats!
So 10,000 clients this week was a great achievement. Some could be repeat, but overall we've hit 10,000 clienteles. I mean, we've probably done over 1,000 projects. We've probably catered to over maybe 20 or 30 different countries. And I can say proudly that I think 99% of those orders have been successfully delivered either on time or prior to the deadline. And I think maybe 1% of them that we had problems of during transit products being damaged, but we always replace products for the clients as efficiently as possible. Those things are something that are out of our hands, unfortunately. Right. What we can offer is obviously foster a relationship with our clientele. We predominantly work with repeat clienteles. And they continuously come back to us because they've built this relationship and trust with us.
Right.
As you said, there's one thing that I always tell my team is that you have to be active. The moment an inquiry comes in, you have to immediately reply to the client. Whether you have an answer for them or not, first thing you say is say thank you.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you. That's, they know we've acknowledged their inquiry.
Yeah.
Now, whatever else happens after that, that is a process. We do our best to get back to you within 24 to 48 hours.
Right.
Sometimes if it's a particular product that has an issue or approvals or clarifications from the factories, because a lot of times we get COMs or we get customs requests, these have to be clarified and it takes longer. But we definitely, customer satisfaction for us is our priority. Efficiency is another priority, and making sure we deliver on time. We have recently introduced a price guarantee emblem on all our sales offers. So we will guarantee our prices. If we are higher than anybody else in the market, if that's applicable to any of the brands, we're happy to offer a reduced price in the market if you show us an invoice.
Proof. That's amazing.
Yes. Yeah, it is amazing.
And we've had...
They use that a lot in Sweden, actually. I never heard anyone do that here
in all our sales offers, it says price guaranteed.
Wow.
And we've had 2 clients who actually used that, and we did beat them, the competitors' prices, and they ordered with us.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's a
great
nice
service. That's
strategy.
an extra, very good extra added value on the service.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want to lose a client, and often enough, I think out of 10 inquiries, we usually get 7 to 8 of them confirmed. All the rest are either cancelled project, postponed project, or value engineered.
Yeah.
And if you value engineer it to Dragon Mart, I can't help you.
But also that's maybe not your clientele.
It is not our clientele.
So obviously with iconic and with high-end pieces of furniture, you also have to... you also diverted, your clientele and made it... compressed of who will come and be.
Segmented.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Who will be your end consumer? You must have a huge portfolio with all of these amazing clients that now you reached a nice target for Super Studio. Is there a specific project that that's highlighted in your mind that you feel like, oh, you know what, this was a very special project,
Yeah.
and that you feel like this is where Super Studio really
Be
shine
careful.
through?
But be careful because your clients are listening.
Yeah.
No pressure.
I think we've had a lot of amazing projects. I've worked on many amazing projects. Some I can't even talk about, put it that way.
Yeah.
But for us, every project, every client is special. We cannot
That's a
differentiate
very diplomatic
between
answer.
any of our clients and projects. We love working with everybody, no matter the size of the project. They're all special to us. Yes, there's some really crazy. I mean, right now as we speak, I mean, even before coming in here, we have something. I can't even say the client. I have an NDA signed, but they've been working with us for the last 2 weeks to deliver. I can tell you the date. That might give you some hint. By December 1st, it has to be on site in Abu Dhabi, and it's a global event.
I know.
So.
That gave it away. Do you know?
So if you know, keep it to yourself.
Well, I clearly know much less than you. I don't know how this happened.
Well,
but-
I think I could
So,
maybe.
while they push the boundaries of delivering to a certain time, they also push the boundaries of processing and approving things. I mean, I just got the approval today after 2 weeks of waiting, but I still have to deliver at the same time.
But that leads to a quite interesting question.
Yes.
Because in the end of the day, yes, you are a representative and distributor here. How do you manage to, because I feel like every time I've ordered from SA Design, we never had issues with you guys being late with any of our projects, And that always surprised me because here in Dubai, you always hear a date and then it's always delays. So how do you manage to always be within your timeline when in the end of the day it's not you that is depending on, it's manufacturing and it's another company and
there's so many parties involved
there's
in the
so many
process.
what do you call it, factors that make an order meet a deadline. You're correct. For this specific one, because of who the client is, they have realized that it's a highly high-profile project.
Okay.
And it's a great project for the brands to be involved in. All the brands
exposure.
that are involved, it's exposure.
Yeah.
All the brands that are working on this project have never had such a project that they have worked at such a high caliber.
Wow.
I'm talking, it's one of the biggest events in the UAE.
I think I know what it is.
Suspense.
It's a global event, and UAE is one of those platforms that happens once a year here. So they are eager and excited to be part of it. Yes, they all have limitations also. So for example, one of the brands stopped their production specifically for this project.
Wow. That's impressive.
Wow.
To cater to the deadline.
Yeah, that's impressive.
That's very impressive.
That is impressive. Put that aside. Last year, we designed His Highness's boardroom table in their new headquarters in One Zabil. And they were delayed in final approvals to proceed with production. And it was coming to August in Italy.
Ooh.
Italy in August.
Shuts down.
The brands just throw away the key and disappear.
Vacation time.
Yeah.
There's no communication whatsoever. They asked us to ask the factory to work during August. And guess what?
They worked?
They worked.
Wow.
Yeah, that's rare. This is
That was the first time ever I had convinced an Italian manufacturer to work over their holidays to meet the deadline.
Wow. Wow.
Yep. We met the deadline.
Dev.
And we air freighted. I mean, I went and inspected it and air freighted it here, and the team from Italy flew over and did a fantastic job. Techno and their technicians, they installed the table within 1 week while they were still fixing marbles on our left and right of the table. We were actually ahead of time.
So many fun stories.
I've heard many stories, you know, from you. We're not gonna take that. That's also another podcast.
That's another podcast. Yeah, that's a whole.
But I know, I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, that a couple of times you've actually flown from Dubai to the country of where the product is being manufactured to do quality controls.
Yes, I've been personally.
That's absolutely crazy.
And this particular one was a
For
very...
for another company's product doing quality control for
Yes.
it. Well, that's so impressive for me.
Funny enough, you said that. We have another project in the pipeline. Again, I can't say anything about it, but it's a custom chandelier for a very prominent family. And we're in the design phase. And one of the conditions of the client is they wanted to go and fly over to the factory and inspect the actual light before it gets created and shipped to Dubai. So this is going to be my next one, that we're actually going to fly out and inspect this beautiful chandelier before it gets created. It's very important. I mean, my last journey to Italy, it was, I think, in October or November last year. October, I think, because it was installed in November. It was such, in the hindsight, if I hadn't done it, I think we'd have issues here.
Oh, wow.
So when I got there, I realized automatically some of the issues with the design that hadn't been considered or miscommunicated. And I immediately rectified that. When I arrived on Friday, and Monday it's supposed to be on a plane. So we asked for the client to give us an extension of 1 week. Obviously, they had time. So in that 1 week, everything was rectified. I mean, this Italian craftsmanship, I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, next level.
Yeah.
You know, you get these 3 or 4 elderly men who are just incredible at what they do.
Yeah.
And they take their time, you know, make sure everything is right. And they explain to me. And I gave them, obviously, my feedback from experience and knowing who the client is sitting at this table. So it was very important to go and do that. It was an experience, and I'm glad that we did it.
Well, I have so many questions for you, in fact. But one of the questions I want to ask, I know that you always have some kind of a new venture, or something baking. There is something always baking. This new collaboration that you have, that you kind of turn in your studio into also art space. What is it about? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, thanks to my wife, I've got more into art since I have started our relationship.
I think this is the first time now, everyone that didn't know, that this is Valeria's husband, yeah.
You're welcome.
I've got to appreciate art more and more in recent times. I've worked with some incredible art collectors, whether on their projects or a joint project, and I've seen in their collection some incredible art that just talks to you. I've not seen it anywhere in museums that I have been to. It's just these collectors have great pieces of art. So obviously going to Art Dubai every year, it's a great time to see beautiful art, what's new. We thought we have a great space. We have incredible pieces of furniture on display. Why not bring to life the space with some art? So we started with one gallery and a small scale, and then we got approached by another gallery, a much bigger gallery and prominent gallery. And we've done a bigger collaboration now. We have some beautiful pieces on display, which is also for sale, either through us or the gallery directly. And it's just changed the space that we have. I mean, it definitely changes the atmosphere. It changes everything, even the furniture around the pieces of art has changed dramatically.
Yeah.
It brings things to life. And I think we're going to continuously change and work and collaborate with different art galleries. I think we've probably have a few lined up already after seeing what we have provided as a platform to this gallery. Everyone is interested now.
That's
Well,
really-
you definitely have the right platform for it, because people coming into your space and knowing what furnitures you have, of course, it goes hand in hand to have a very cool or nice art piece that you know
that comes with it.
comes
right?
with it,
Like,
or you know fills up the space. In the end of the day, when we look for furniture or buy furniture, it's not only a nice piece; it's a feeling.
right.
You know, and that goes the same thing with frames, you know, or sculptures or art pieces.
Coming back to your question, you said we always have something happening. Yes, we try to keep up with the industry.
Ever evolving industry. Yeah, it's a super fast pace.
I mean, you will soon obviously see we did a collaboration with several designers that I'm sure you both know very well. I will keep that for later times. Stay tuned. It will come on our social media. So we've done these collaborations with brands and designers.
Nice.
So you'll see a lot of social media coming up.
Content.
I think next week it's scheduled to come up. It's quite interesting. It came out really better than what I anticipated. Put it that way.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was fun, and I have one more tomorrow. So
how many designers did you have, and how many collaborations?
We've done 4. We've done 3. One is tomorrow, and we are doing hopefully one more in this series, and we'll see how that goes. And maybe every year we have a different one.
You know, now that we've mentioned that furniture, artwork, and everything is like, you know, it's just overall, it's just design. And I have to mention that you have a great eye, okay, for the things.
Well, he has
the
glasses on, so
yeah, that's why. A good eye for just like for the things. What do you what are the trends that you think will remain with us, and what do you think will dissolve or disappear with time? And what is it for us to come in the industry?
that's a great question.
That's a great question, and where how to start to answering that. Well, you know, design has to stand has to have something that will forever change someone's understanding, approach, life. When you buy something, you want it to be part of your journey.
Yeah.
We can buy disposable furniture at any time from anywhere. There's pieces of furniture that you will buy that lives with you forever. And I think we, in our home, we have many of those pieces.
Yeah, thanks to you.
And some I didn't know at the time. I mean, we have a floss lamp that I've had for over maybe 20 plus years.
Yeah, 20 years now.
You know, it wasn't so iconic. It was famous, but today it's one of the most iconic pieces of...
Which one is it?
I was gifted this by Floss. Iconic pieces that stands the test of time.
Yeah.
That's what you need to look for.
Is that what makes a piece iconic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not about value. Because it has nothing to do with price and value. It's just the design.
Itself.
You know, I have a piece of furniture that was designed in 1956, I think, by Techno. I think you've seen it yourself. It's a red armchair. And when you look at it, it's like a piece of art today.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
But this was designed, 70 years ago.
Yeah.
This is what you call design.
Yeah.
And you don't find many. That's the thing. And most of them that you do find today are still from the 50s and 60s, but in recent times, it's very few pieces. Very few pieces. Yeah.
And it's a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very, very nice piece. And you know what? It's not the easiest to try to educate,
that's very
everyone
difficult.
about, or the clients about these specific pieces. But I agree with you. It's, some here and there.
Yeah. It makes a difference.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it makes a difference in the space, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, is it Tatcha table lamp from
Touch it.
Floss?
Yeah.
No matter where you put it, it just looks incredible. And now, they introduced the smaller size.
Right.
Because the original size is quite
It's
big.
Yeah. Well, it's nice.
So it accommodates smaller spaces, smaller homes, because Europe is mostly smaller spaces.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful piece. Beautiful. I mean, we had to put it in storage when the kids were young, so they wouldn't break it. And then we brought it back.
Fantastic.
Just to go back a little bit to our question, what is your vision for design industry in the next 10 years?
Wow.
Oh, what a heavy question.
Wow.
That's great. You are sitting with great questions today, Valeria.
So, the future of design.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I think it will be focusing on creating spaces, products, which enhances the well-being and reflects on shared commitment to a better world.
And when we say better world, do we talk about sustainability?
Definitely sustainability
Noise,
is a part of it.
Mental wellness.
Everything is changing today, especially with AI, 3D printing.
Yeah.
Right.
There is so much happening. Even though I'm not a big fan of all the change, I am comfortable with how the design industry has grown until now. But change for me is always something that I question before accepting. So we'll have to wait and see.
Well, in the end of each episode, we ask our guest a question from our previous guest. Okay? And the question is, what is your favorite design piece? Iconic design piece, and why? Funny enough, our guest definitely didn't know that you
would be the one.
I'm the one.
But this is
okay.
on spot.
But it's just right. It was made for you.
One thing I don't know if you guys know as well is that we're looking at the possibility of starting the vintage sourcing at Super Studio for clients. So we'll be trying to introduce sourcing of vintage furniture
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
to clients. Something that I don't think that's...
Speaking about always having something in your pocket.
Yes.
And also
So
sustainability.
Love it.
Thinking about the future.
And
iconic pieces.
Iconic pieces.
reusing.
So looking at
Upcycling.
doing my research and looking at these beautiful pieces of vintage furniture, I think I've fallen in love with the vintage Soriana armchair and the sofas by Casina.
Tobias Scarpa, originally designed by Tobias Scarpa.
It is
one of my favorite pieces.
Incredible looking pieces of furniture, which have fallen in love, and looking for the right time and the right piece, at the right price as a vintage to buy a set for myself.
Amazing. What material would you go for?
Leather
Leather. Interesting.
in tan.
Maybe not in our house.
Do you have cats?
We have cat and
tan.
dog.
Cat
Yes,
and dog?
yes.
Oh, not a good combo for a leather sofa.
No, he only goes after fabric, so it's
yeah?
okay. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Hence leather.
Look, this was a super
Episode.
episode
Thank you.
with the super man himself.
Appreciate it.
We love you, and thank
We
you
do
for
love you. We both love you.
Thank you for educating us. You know, every Milan trip that we do together
Yeah.
is
It's true.
iconic itself. You know, so
And
you
we're
know,
looking
you
forward
teach-
to the next Milan.
That was actually where the whole pod
Was
thing was
brewing.
sort of brewing, and it came to birth. And Valeria got a light lit up in on top of her head, and she was like, "We should do this." Look, Masen, before we wrap up, I think we should continue with our beautiful, tradition. We want you to ask a question for the next guest coming. So you can.
Funny enough, I had the same question or similar question to your previous guest.
Okay.
So can I
Repeat it.
Can I repeat it? But it's not exactly. I mean,
Okay.
it's basically, what is your favorite iconic piece of furniture that you desire to have in your collection?
That's a very nice question.
You know, we'll be happy with that one.
Yeah.
That's a great question, by the way.
Yeah.
I wish someone could ask me that question.
I can ask you this question. I can ask you
Masen,
now.
thank you so much.
Thank
much.
you.
Really
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much.
Appreciate
It was
your
great
time.
talking to you.
Thank you so much.